Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to this very special evening Music Off live stream. I'm always been very proud of this format because we bring awesome musicians to you. And of course, it's an Italian format, so hello to all our friends from abroad. I thank you to be here. I see you have very many people from Facebook, from YouTube and Twitch, etc., etc. So this is a very unusual and very special evening for us because we usually stream for Italian musicians and we bring here Italian artists, But this evening it's awesome because we have one of the bass legends, and it's Alain Caron, and of course the live stream tonight will be all in English, and I apologize immediately because of my bad English. You will listen to me, and but I'm very proud of this evening, and I'll have a very special friend, Alex Lofoco, helping me out to trying to go through the career and life and techniques and styles, influences of Alain Caron. So thank you very much for this evening. Thank you also for Markbass, to Marco De Virgilis. They are hosting this live stream on their Facebook page too. I will say hello now to some of the friends, and of course many are coming from the Music Off community. Music Off is the biggest Italian community for musicians. And we have many friends here eager to know something more about Alain and listening to the stories and the tunes that made a big part of the history of the latest 40 years at least. So hello guys, hello from Montreal, hello Aldo Smarte, welcome to all our friends from Twitch. Hello Elisa Miconi, yeah, nice, long time no see. Thank you for the follow. Of course, we asked Alain to play something tonight, so I suggest you to go check this live stream on our Twitch channel. It will be, the quality audio and video will be higher. So if you have a nice connection, a broadband connection, you will find more quality, a higher quality on that channel too. It's twitch.tv/musicoffcommunity. And you can interact with the questions also. If you want to lend a question to Alain, it can be possible, but only through Twitch platform because of many technical reasons I cannot explain now. I don't want to get much more time. So in the meantime, I will start with, I forgot about this. I'm really excited about this evening. We will have this little countdown in 2 minutes. We will start, and then I will bring in Alex Lofoco. We will introduce you the evening, and of course, then we will welcome Alain together. And I believe this will be an amazing evening, guys. And then we will have a special guest tonight. It's a close friend and a musician that knows very well Alain, and it's a surprise. He doesn't know who he is, and I'm very curious to see their reaction when they will meet. Good evening, guys. Davide Serra, welcome. Giacomo Pasquali, welcome back. Welcome, my friend. And this backing track you are listening now, it's made from an Italian musician. It's Giacomo Pasquali, it's my brother. And it's coming with us with any live stream. This is the 37th live stream. We started with the lockdown in last April, and then we are carrying on with bringing in for the users, for our friends, the best musicians in Italy, and now we have one of the best bass player in the world. So it's a very big accomplishment. Thank you very much. Hello from Macedonia, welcome. Paolo Caiti, it's too bad I don't understand English, okay? Yeah, but don't be afraid, it will be understandable, and we can't afford a translation. All this live streaming will take about 4 or 5 hours. We want to get all we can, and we don't want to waste Alain's time. Okay, guys, in 10 seconds. Let's get going. Let me see if everything is going on correctly. I guess so. Let's start. Okay, that's back. Now it's back. The backing track is gone and now from my ears, so I can welcome now my partner in this live stream interview and show with Alain Caron, Mr. Alex Lofoco. It's a very fine bass player. It's Italian too. He lives in London since 10 years. And he invited Alain for this live stream. So I'm very proud to introduce you, Mr. Alex Lofoco.
Hello.
Welcome, bro. What's up?
I'm all right, thank you. How are you guys?
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm very excited, aren't you?
I can tell, man. Oh, so am I, actually. So
yeah, I can't wait to see what we'll bring tonight. Alain is one of my bass hero, you know. Even if I'm a guitarist, I always heard about him in many situations. So it's very nice to be with him. Also a very friendly guy. It's a very fun guy. So
he's a legend.
Yeah, he's a legend indeed. Guys, we have 500 people online from Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So thank you very much, guys. If you want to place a question to Alain, please drop it on both YouTube and Twitch. If you go on Twitch, I can get it and place it into the screen so Alain can read your message to your name too. And the link is on the screen. So it's twitch.tv/musicofcommunity. Alex, I guess we can get this started. What do you think about it?
Yeah. Let's get to it.
Yeah. Okay, guys, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Mr. Alain Caron.
Hey.
Welcome, Alain. Good evening.
Hello, guys. Hello, everybody.
Hello, man.
Yeah, what's up?
All right. Everything's okay here.
Yeah, it's not that evening for you, isn't it? It's 5 hours before us.
It's 5 hours difference. It's actually 10 after 4. It's still light outside. And then we haven't changed the time yet. So you changed the time last week, I believe, in Europe. And we changed
in Europe
here, I believe, next week.
Okay. So, first of all, thank you very much to being here. It's an honor to meet you, even if it's just a digital meeting, you know, but it's a real honor. And thanks for your time. Really, I know you are very busy with teaching and recording and producing. You have many projects ongoing, and we will speak about them. And
Sure.
There are many people sending messages and thanks, and so I guess there will be lots of questions too. Alain, if you agree, I guess we can start with some music. What do you think about it?
Sure, I can play something. Of course, as I told you yesterday when we first met, you know, doing some tests. I've never done this. It's the first time I do it live, playing live alone in my studio in front of people. And it's not something I really enjoy doing, but I accept doing that today because of this very strange situation we're all experiencing worldwide. And I haven't played live. I didn't get a chance to play live for a long time. I did a couple of gigs this summer, including the Jazz Festival in Montreal. So I played with my trio, but with no audience. And that was kind of strange. But we actually put ourselves like in the mind frame like we said, we're in studio and we're recording a record. So there's no audience and we go for it. And it went pretty good. And then after that, the jazz club reopened in Montreal. So I wanted to play in the jazz club, but it was terrible. We had only 26 people in the room. People were afraid to get together and get
for the COVID.
Yeah, because of the COVID, obviously. So I didn't play live since. So I missed that, obviously. So this is one of the reasons I accept your invitation today. So thank you very much. So
Thank you very much. Me and Alex will be your audience tonight. Of course, there are many people looking at you, but at least we can see each other at least in
way
video.
more than that. Yeah, banging.
Okay, remember to close your microphone when you play, so
Sure.
we will not hear the noise. Yeah.
So I'll do my best to play correctly. So I'll play a tune from a previous record. It's entitled Fair Play, which I can talk about it. I decided to play this tune for you because now I'm teaching a lot of jazz, the jazz school, the Montreal University, where we teach jazz and standards and stuff. And this tune has some kind of straight ahead chords changes, like a 2-5-1s. We'll talk about it.
Okay. Amazing, Alain. Thanks a lot. Really, thank you.
Thank you very much. I forgot some part of it. Anyway, it's fun. It's all right.
Yeah, it's fun. If we will play something more later, because this echo cancellation we didn't use last time, it can cut a bit some of the frequencies. But if you remove it now, we will hear the feedback. So next time you will play, we will stop talking. You will remove the echo cancellation, so you will play with more broadband quality.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's better. But anyway, it went very okay. Yeah, nice one. Okay, Alex, you ready? Let's do the first question for Alain.
Oh,
You're muted, mate. You're muted, mate. Alex, you there?
You are muted.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he went. Don't mute.
because I was singing along the tune, so I just thought that.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah,
Very
so often amongst bass players, the bass is not the first choice. How was with you? Like, where did you come from? You just woke up one day and said, "I want to play bass." Were you exposed to?
No, actually, the first band I started playing very, very young when I was 11 years old. Actually, I did an amateur contest where I was 11 years old. I was playing guitar and singing, and then the band that was backing up the amateurs like me, it was actually only a drummer and a keyboard player. He was playing an old Farfisa organ. He was playing bass and it was playing organ. And then I guess they liked the way I was playing the guitar and then approaching music at that age. So they asked my parents, and they would agree to let me play with them on weekends. I was 11 or 12 years old back then. I said, okay, for sure. And my parents accepted. So I started playing with them. So keyboard player, he was playing bass, I was playing guitar. But during some tunes, he wanted to play accordion. He was a very good musician. And this guy was an ex-bass player, a really good bass player. He had a beautiful old jazz bass. So he taught me how to play the bass on a couple of tunes. And then the first tune we played was Magda Knife. I don't know if you know that tune. Magda Knife. What?
Oh yeah.
I sing so bad, man. So
you're quite nice singer.
He taught me how to play the bass on that tune, and actually that was the first bass lesson I've ever had. That was the best one, because he told me to play 1, 3, 5 on every chord. I didn't understand what he meant, but I played it and I heard it. I said, well, it's cool. And then we'll come back on it later. So I started playing bass on some tunes and then playing guitar and going back and forth. And then two of my sisters were playing, singing in a little bit more professional band. And their bass player left the band. That was at the beginning of the summer. I believe I was 14 years old. And then I said, I can replace him, So I said, give me the gig. And I got the gig. And then I performed on bass during the summer. But when September came, I said, I don't want to go back to school. It's not where I want to go. I want to play music. They were playing 7 nights a week and traveling up across the province. So I asked my parents to let me go and not go back to school and play music. And believe it or not, they accepted. I was 14 years old.
Great.
That was amazing. And then I started playing music 7 nights a week. And then, listening to music all the time. And then I switched to bass. And I was playing a little bit of drums as well. And to me, bass was like a guitar that was playing drums for some reason, because I had to keep the time, and I really enjoyed it. And this is the beginning of the story. I've been playing bass since. That's it.
So you found the bass was something in between the harmony and the rhythm, sort of.
That's right.
What was appealing about it? Because in my experience, I didn't know what the bass was before I started playing it. I thought it was the drums, actually, because it was so together in the rhythm section that I thought, I mean, shame on me, but I learned afterwards that the interesting thing on the drums was actually the bass on top of it.
Right.
And it's got that sort of vibe and kick.
Yeah. I heard it right away. I heard it. I don't know. I think I had good ears, and then I heard the bass line right away. Even though when I was playing guitar, I heard the bass all the time. So when I got the gig playing the bass, I had to learn the tunes, and I heard it right away. And then to me, it was obvious that maybe because of this first lesson the keyboard told me, I understand exactly why we have to play these notes, and then to be the foundation of the band, and then to be very solid. And then it fit my character a lot better than a guitar player, I would say, because this is the way I am. I am like that. So I'm responsible. I'm a slow person. I'm not, and then I'm very quiet as well. So I think the bass is made for me. It was very, very natural for me to play the bass, and I heard the bass lines right away.
It fits you like a suit.
I think so. I have no choice now. I had to play it for so long. Too late for me to switch. I'm telling you that.
Listen, Alain, but what is for you the role of bass in music, and what should be the attitude of the bass in an ensemble situation?
Well, as I said, you got to be responsible harmonically and rhythmically. This is the role that I think that the top priority. Play the right notes, obviously, but it's playing solos. It's something on top. It's not necessary. You got to be able to enjoy supporting the band, playing the fundamental, and be at the service of the band, and especially in the jazz environment. You're there to support the harmony, suggest, because it's a discussion with the other musicians. But once someone is soloing, you're there to support, help, and then be solid. I would say, in a traditional way, you got to be some kind of a father. You got to be responsible, and take care of everybody. In a traditional way, I'm saying all the mothers would don't be mad at me. All the mothers, you most of you are as responsible as the father, but in a traditional way. This is the way I see it. You got to be aware of the band members, be able to fit with the drum, and then be able to go after him. Not, you got to be open-minded also.
Okay.
This is the way I see it. I don't know if it's clear.
Yeah, it is. Alex,
So
just a
the
second, you're
parts of
muted.
everyone.
Yeah, come again.
Oh yeah, that wasn't me this time. So you're a bit like the director of the band, knowing everyone's parts and knowing what's happening.
No, in my band, I'm the director, so I give a direction to the musician, because as you know, you write music, you know how it is. When you write a piece of music, it can go in many different directions, unless everything is written, all the parts are written down. I write as enough to give the direction to the musicians. The tune is going in this direction, and leave enough space and liberties for the musician to express themselves. It's very tricky. It's a very interesting balance, and sometimes it's going in not exactly in the direction I was hearing in my head. So it's very tricky to say something to the musician, because you don't want to turn them down and for them to lose their excitement. I want them to express. And sometimes I said, wow, I didn't think of it. And then I agree with the suggestion that they bring. If I'm the bass player hired in for another gig, not playing my music, I would do the opposite. I would be as much as possible available and open to the band leader or the director or the producer to find exactly where the music, where he wants the music to go. And then I'll try to go in that direction and fulfill is the desire, and then support the tune as much as possible in the direction that was given to me. Sometimes I will bring a suggestion, but I'm very, very diplomatic when I do this. I leave the director and the band leader the total all
freedom to lead,
the freedom to bring him as far as he heard his arrangement or the composition in his head or the production of the record. So this is two different things for me. When I'm the band leader, and then the writer and the composer and the producer, it's different. I lead the band, and then when I'm the sideman, I do the opposite.
Very nice. Okay, Alex, you ready? You got the next shot.
Well, there are so many actually. Well, let's start with this one. How do you see the future of musicians in this current pandemic crazy situation? Like in less than a year, pretty much the whole world, but especially the artistic side of entertainment, had to revolutionize and adapt. I mean, it's great to use the technology like we do now and get together, so as a binding, unifying thing. But what do you think the future of musicians will be in the next, from now on? Because it looks like a process has started.
It doesn't look too good right now, I'm telling you, because the main purpose of a musician is to perform together, the exchange, and then the contact, and then hearing the band ringing together in front of the audience and getting people excited. And then this is what we want to do. So we cannot do it now. So I tell my students all the time not to be discouraged, but stay positive, because this thing will end at some point. So I tell them, use this time to prepare yourself. All the time you have to practice and learn and then study, use it as much as possible. So when it reopens, you'll be even better. So this is, if I would be younger, this is what I would put my mind into, to look far enough to have a goal, and then to be ready when things come back to normal, because it will come back to normal at some point. It would be a disaster. Can you imagine if you stay like this for the rest of our lives? It's impossible. So, and when it comes back to normal, I think it will be even if what I call normal, it'll be a little bit different, because the music industry has changed over the time. When I started doing records, we were doing LPs, and then we had royalties, and then every time people would videotape or concert, we would get paid. Nowadays everybody has a phone and then record and videotape ourselves for free. I was desperate when it first happened. I said, you don't have the right to do it, because the concert we're doing now, people have paid for it, and then it's kind of a private thing. So if you want to broadcast it everywhere in the world, I was very, very mad at the beginning. Now get used to it, but I still don't like it. And then all the royalties, and then the intellectual properties, and the rules and the laws have changed so much. It's very different for me. It is very different for me. But I believe the younger generation will find new ways to make a decent living, a decent incomes. The royalties will change. For example, now you can get money from if your tunes are played on YouTube, and then even on Spotify we get peanuts. But eventually the percentage will go higher. It's for me, it's obvious that the way it works right now cannot stay forever. It's impossible, because Spotify and these guys make too much money compared to the artists, and they use our material to make this money. So it's not fair.
Yeah, for the income.
For the income. So I believe the younger generation will find solution, and then new regulations and new laws to make it more even. So I'm not negative about the future, but in the short term, the situation is very bad.
Yeah, at least we have to wait a bit to see how this will be solved, on how this will change.
Yeah.
I hope so. I'm very positive too. I guess every time we have a crisis in every moment of our history, we find different reasons and different energies to get out of this and improve and get better. Yeah,
Definitely. For sure. Cheers.
yeah, Alain.
Water in there, actually.
Just water, not scotch.
I agree. Even if some whiskey will be very nice.
Later, not now.
So the process is started already. Like, it feels to me like this pandemic has somehow accelerated a process in the music industry which has started about 20 years ago, when the first compact cameras or Napster came about.
Yeah.
So feels like, people like yourself and few other big professionals are adapted to stream, teach online as well.
Yeah.
But the whole music industry kind of moved towards where we are now pretty much some time ago.
Yeah. The thing is, the technology is better. Everybody is set up to broadcast and record in a pretty good quality. The thing is, we need to get the incomes. For when we release music to the public, we need to find a way to get a revenue, income to pay the bills. This is what's missing, I think. But I'm pretty optimistic that the rules will change. A lot of people are already working on it. I think it'll get better, because it cannot stay like that, playing music for free. When people tell me, "Hey, man, it's a good promotion for you," but what is the purpose of promoting?
The promotion.
Promotion is to sell something, So now we're promoting and we don't sell anything. So it's a problem. People in the industry have to realize that, and then people controlling the industry now, they have to be ready to split the pie a little bit more equally and evenly between artists and producers and listeners.
Yeah, of course. But Alain, what kind of relation do you have with the technology? Do you think the amount of informations available online today, even the opportunities, like a live stream or chance to make videos and very high quality videos even in your home studio, can create some confusion to someone who's starting right now, for instance?
I'm not sure if I understand your question. Confusion, I don't know. I think there's a very, very good thing about it, because now you can reach an audience directly without having to go on the road, and then you can promote. If you have a new record, a new tune, you can show people how you play, and then it's very good in a way.
Yeah.
The downside is there are so many. the traffic is jammed sometimes, so you got to be patient and fool around and search for the right things. I'm not there to judge, but there's a lot of things like that's not that good, and then the very good ones are maybe lost in the pile. As opposed to when I started making music, it took so long to get to the level to make a record, an LP. When you made an LP, you were, had a very high percentage that people will hear that, because it was so hard and expensive to do, to make it. And then before you get to this level, we had to play a lot. And clubs, there was no internet, there was no YouTube. So the only place we were able to, we had at our available was to play in clubs. There was a lot of clubs, a lot more clubs, because people the audience would go to clubs a lot more than now. People now stay maybe a little bit more at home and watch YouTube and watch Facebook and Netflix, all that. So it's
we stick to the sofa.
Yeah, that's it. So it won't go back to these days, but it was a mechanism, a way to get to the top that I really liked. Now it's different. I'm not really in that because most of my career is a lot more behind me than in front of me. So I'm not really present and then very active on the internet. I check my Facebook from time to time, but not really active on it. And I do it on purpose. I see a lot of comments. Facebook drives me crazy sometimes.
There are so many comments under your live stream on your Facebook page. You have tons of followers and lovers,
My Facebook is not that bad because, I'm lucky I don't. But, sometimes my personal Facebook, I read some, my God, it's terrible. People think they're so intelligent, they have solution for everything. They criticize everything, all the politics, drive me nuts. So sometimes I just shut it off and that's it.
And go back to play.
And go back to play, go outside and ride my bike. That's it.
Yeah, I see in this last maybe 2-3 years, or more or less, there are many new opportunities for musicians online, different from the others, and they are not related anymore with big industries, So you don't need anyone to do your new album or to play live to someone. And one is this Twitch platform we are using for streaming in the last 2-3 months. There are many musicians here playing every evening, maybe. It's like they set up their room they have a very nice audio. They get musicians involved together. Now it's impossible because of the pandemic, but they usually do some gig also. And I find this can be a very nice way to start somewhere, because through Twitch you can get paid, you can get subscriptions to the people that likes your music. So at least it's better than Spotify situation, where, as you said, you don't get much of the pie. So it's going somewhere else.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's a very, very nice platform. It's not as popular over here. But I heard about it, and there's a production company here in Montreal that started that using a theater, actually, and then they set it up to broadcast live concerts where people would pay to hear it. And then we're at the beginning of it here, and then or maybe it's already happening and I don't know, because I'm not really active on that. But it's a nice future. I think it could be something interesting. And after the pandemic, maybe we can have still broadcasts with a small audience, so we get a nice feeling, a good reaction from a small audience, and broadcast it. I think it could be interesting. Actually, I think of it. Last week or a couple of weeks ago, we have a big band in the university, where normally the big band perform. in a beautiful concert hall and they perform in front of the audience. This year it was not possible. It was broadcast on the internet. I'm not sure what platform they used, and then it's been a big success. And so actually, we're planning on doing some more of these kind of broadcasting. So it's a nice future. I agree with you.
Yeah, at least I guess people will get more freedom to handle their success themselves. So it's not just about promotion with some press office, that doesn't like you or just get your money back, but it's you with your audience straight in the camera, the feeling when you can play in the same room or in the same club. But at least I feel it's a step ahead, at least from the
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree.
Yeah. Okay. We have a couple of questions from your friends tonight. This is a very bass related question. What gauge of strings do you use for different basses?
I've been using labella strings for years, and then those strings I use, they're called super steps, and then I work on the design of these strings from the very, very beginning, because when I started playing 6-string bass, there was no low B available. So I went to New York, in Newburgh, New York, and I met Richard Coco from the string company.
Senior.
Yes, junior. Richard Coco Jr., the son.
Okay.
And then we started working on these strings, and then I've been playing these strings for many, many years. And those strings are made also for F bass. The F bass strings are made by labella. Yeah.
What is the gauge?
Okay.
The gauge is the gauge point 029 for the IC, 045, 065, 085, point 102 for the E string, and point 128 for the low B.
Okay.
And sometimes I use a little lighter gauge, like the one made for F bass. It's a little lighter for those 3 strings here. And instead of 45, I think he used 42, 60 something, a little bit lighter.
Halfway.
Yeah,
sizes,
not quite, very little,
Yeah,
very little. Instead of 0.045, it's 0.042, something like that.
Yeah.
And then it's a bit looser, and then it works very, very well. But I know Markbass now. Marco makes some strings, so I'll try them at some point. For sure.
Yeah, we just made a video test for the new Markbass strings, so it will be out in a couple of days. But I'm very curious to see the feelings and the experience with many other musicians. Yeah. Another question, then I will introduce your friend. It's a secret guest, and your left hand setting and neck orientation is something inherited from double bass, or a personal choice of comfort?
Yeah, no, I've been using this position for years because of the upright bass. I was used to, and especially for 2 things. I noticed when I was bending my wrist, like here, I would get, tired. So I figured that if my wrist stays straight, I have a lot more endurance. So you see, if I look at my wrist here, it's always straight everywhere I play. It's never bent. So that's one of the reasons. And then I got it from upright bass. And then same thing here. So this is why I put my bass this way, because I don't. My arm is not sitting on the bass. My hand is free, and I got it from upright as well, because when you play upright, both of your arms are free, and then the instrument is very, very stable. So now I want my instrument to be stable, not to move, and both my hands are free. So I'm a lot more relaxed, and then this is where I got it from.
As opposed to
holding
very
nice.
as a holding the instrument with your thumb. I think it's a downer for me. And then to wrist my
With the
arm on the instrument like that, for example. To me, it's a disaster. I cannot play like that. I'm so used to play the other way now because when I stand up, as you see, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but I use a double strap that I bring around my hip
To place it on, yeah.
and I attach it here. So now my instrument, you see, my instrument is
gonna
very, very stable.
It follows you.
It's not moving at all. So the instrument is very, very stiff. So, and then it's at exactly at the right place. So I'm totally free to my arms are free.
Oh, that's
so,
great. Didn't know the double strap thing around the waist.
yeah, but actually a lot of people asking me about it. So now it's a good time to show it. See,
Yes, please.
it's just a second strap. I added a second pin here. I attached another strap. And I bring that strap in front of me and then back. And then I attach it here on top of the other one.
So it makes a loop around your waist.
It's just a loop that goes from here behind. And then the instrument is very solid. It's not moving now.
So it follows you everywhere you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's a very nice, it's a genius idea, really. It's very comfortable.
Because I was practicing this way, but the instrument was moving also. But now you see, when I sit down, I bring the strap underneath, and then the instrument is very, very stable.
Because it lays on the left leg.
Yeah.
Okay.
Except
Do you
when I
your
play,
strings?
I'm sorry.
Come again?
Sorry, go ahead.
Except when I play fretted bass, I use a different ride-in technique. So it's totally different. I place my instrument differently.
Okay, we have very many questions, but sorry, Alex.
Well, I wanted to ask
Were
you
you
about
saying
pick in hand, because now you showed the way you hold your instrument, and how do you? I see you have a kind of a floating thumb when you play on the high register or on the sixth string.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way you mute your strings to avoid the lower ones.
My hand is always like the thumb is almost always at the same place, and that mold is moving. So you see, my thumb is always resting, because when I was playing 4-string, it was not too much of a problem. But when I started playing 6-string, when you play on the C string, if you don't mute the bottom strings, you're in trouble, because the bottom strings are vibrating. So you need to find a way to mute it. There's different techniques, but the technique I use is I always have my thumb moving.
Kind of 2 strings apart, basically.
It's always 1 string below. If I play on a C string, my thumb will be resting and sitting on a D string. If I play the G string, my thumb will be sitting on the A string, and then like that here. And then when I play the A string, it's sitting on the B string. When I play the E string and the B string, I have a thumb rest here. You see?
Yeah.
That little thing here. I have it it's the same distance. So now it's just moving like that. Okay?
Yeah.
So you see, my hand is moving when I practice for it.
Yes. Yeah, thank you. Very ingenious technique.
It's very important to find. I tell my students, do whatever you want. Mute the strings with your foot, whatever. But you have to mute. Find a way to mute the strings. I know a lot of people. I know, for example, I think John Petrucci mutes the strings with his 2 fingers here, and he plays with
the
2
pinky and the ring.
Yeah, so a lot of people are doing that. It's not comfortable for me because I've never done that, but it's a good technique. So whatever technique you use, find a way to mute the bottom strings, especially on a 5 and 6 strings.
Yeah.
Because it's too many
Thank you, Alain.
to take care of.
Yeah. We'll have some questions about your instrument too, but I will keep it for later. Because now I want to introduce this guest, this secret guest waiting for you behind the scene. Yeah, let's see who is. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a good friend of us. He has been in live stream with Music Off many times. Welcome, Mr. Ciro Manna.
Hey, man.
My friend, Ciro.
Hey, man, how are you?
Very good, very good. Where are you? You home?
Yeah. This is my studio.
I know. I saw it before it was the studio.
No. Yeah.
Before you built it. Yeah. Well, it's a good surprise. You know, when he mentioned it would be a good friend of mine, a surprise. You were on the list, my friend. You were on the list.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah. It's a good surprise. Nice to see you, Ciro.
Yeah, thank you. Nice to see you too.
Yeah.
I was in the
I know you have a man for many times.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead, Ciro.
Yeah, I was in the backstage listening to your lessons.
Which one?
No, now I was in the backstage of the StreamYard listening to your lessons.
Well, it's actually more of a chat than a lesson, but you know, I'm willing to give some tricks. But you saw many of my clinics, so you know it all.
Yeah, no. It's always good to remind.
I wanted to bring Ciro because you haven't met since long now because of this pandemic situation, and because I wanted to have Ciro tell us something about how he's playing with you live in tour, because you have played everywhere in the world together, and of course it's not something I can ask you, Alain, but if we can have a chance to have a musician that shared many venues with you, it's a very nice testimony, you know. Is it correct? Testimony? Yeah. Ciro, tell us something.
What I'll do before you say anything, I'll take my headphones off so you can say anything you want.
Okay. No, I can speak in Italian, so you cannot.
All right.
Yeah, give it a shot, Ciro. Tell us something about some of the gig you had to with Alain, some curiosity, or even which is the feeling to play with of course now he's a friend, with a legend like him, live and everywhere in the world. You have been everywhere playing together.
Yeah. Before to tell some stories about the concerts that we made together, I want to talk about before, when I was young and I had the dream to play with Alain Caron. So when I was young, my dreams, I hope that in the future maybe I can have the chance to play with Alain Caron. So because when I start studying some fusion music, I start to study UZEB songs also, Alain Caron songs also, and so my dream was to play with Alain Caron. And I have to thank Marco De Virgilis because the first time that we meet was because of Markbass, the first concert at the Conservatory of Pescara.
Yep.
Yeah, the first time that Marco, Riccardo Damiani called me and he say, Ciro, you want to play with Alain Caron? If it's okay for Alain, for me it's perfect. Yeah. I try to do my best, but I'm not sure. I have the proof of my, this is my personal transcription of enhanced.
Yeah. We played.
Man, so many notes that I.
It looks like a black page.
Yeah, something like that. And the Fair Play and the other tunes. And the first time I was a little bit, scary of all that notes. Also because the melody most of the time was with the guitar. So all the notes you have to try to don't mess, don't lose any notes.
Don't mess.
Yeah. And so was so excited the first time, was being very excited. Also happens that you remember, Alain, the first time in Pescara when the lights turn off, the electricity go down.
I remember.
It went down, and you know, everything was off.
Yeah. There was a big flood outside, right? It was raining a lot, so
Yeah. And so the people start to keep the time with the hands.
Yes,
and Claudio was playing on drums, and was very fun. A special night was.
Claudio Romano. Say hi.
With Claudio.
Say hi to Claudio for me, please. Yeah.
Very for friends.
Very. That's an inside joke. That's fun. Yeah,
Sure.
It was fun playing.
Go ahead.
It was fun playing with Giro. Marco told me, it would be fun for you to play with Italian musicians. I said, yeah, of course. And I knew a few Italian musicians, and he said, you should listen to this guitar player. And then I heard him play. I heard some recording and said, wow, he's very, very good. I said, okay, well, we'll give it a shot and we'll try. So I sent him the charts and the music. And then when we got to the first rehearsal, he knew the music already. He was barely looking at the chart. He was playing almost the music by heart. And then I was really impressed by his musicality. As you said, Ciro, it's very demanding for the guitar player because you play and then you have to phrase all the melody. And then you have to carry the melody. And then I figured out right away that you had the skills to do it. And then you've an incredible improviser. You have a beautiful sound, and then especially your time is impeccable. You always play inside the rhythm, and it's something I look forward for the musician I play with. So you had everything, and then from that point on, we only had fun.
That's amazing. Then now, Ciro, you have to tell us something, some story, some anecdote, something about some gig with Alain.
Well, one is about the wind. In the one night in Pescara, there's a big wind, and I have the charts. I have not many clips to stop the papers. So all the time I have the scotch, the
scotch tape,
the tape, the scotch tape to fix the charts. So after that night, I have all the scotch around all the papers. So it was really a mess with all the papers. But the day after, I have to print again all the papers. It was hard.
So very nice. Thank you very much, Ciro, for this for this cheer with Alain. I guess if Alain agrees, we may. It's 1 hour. We have been here talking. We can get another shot of music if you want, Alain. What do you think about it?
Sure. I don't know.
Just do this little fix. We will mute our microphones so we'll not hear the feedback. If you go on StreamYard on Cam Mic and then audio, you would just need to remove the flag from echo cancellation so people can hear you properly. I'm sorry for the okay. It's working now, so you can hear me twice.
Yeah,
go.
It's done. What I think I would play for you? I will play something with a backing track that I made. It's not one of my tunes. I think I will play you that tune because now what I do most of the time right now, I play a lot of jazz standards. For some reason, I hear. Can you still hear me correctly? All right.
Yeah, correctly, but you need to mute your microphone when you start.
Yeah, when I start playing, I'll mute it for sure. I'm just trying to open the file here. It's coming.
Let's hope it works.
Yeah, I don't know where it is. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, I got it here. Because now I don't play a lot of my music when I'll come back to it. But the last gigs I did, I played a lot of standards, and I kind of like it, and I've been fooling around with that. And there's a couple of tunes that I really like playing. Obviously, the backing track is only the chords that I, put down and just the cymbal. But it's a beautiful tune. It's a Michel Legrand tune that Bill Evans recorded. It's called "You Must Believe in Spring." I don't know if you're familiar with that tune. It's not really fusion, but it's something I like to do. So I'll play it for you if you want. Okay. I'll turn. I'm sorry because I hear myself twice because maybe of what I've changed. Because I hear a delay.
I'm sorry, we can't fix it on the way. Too bad.
Yeah.
But anyway, just remove again cancellation.
Yeah, I think because it is hard to play like that. It's almost impossible.
I know.
Okay, so I'm back here with the echo cancellation. The problem we had before, so you heard some clicks and stuff.
Try again. Just a second. Okay. You need to reload this browser page.
Okay.
Just reload. Yeah, so you will enter again. Yeah, sorry guys, we are trying to have this fix on the go because we didn't have enough time. Alain didn't have enough time to place correct routing for the audio for this live stream. Is very tricky, so we tried this on the go. But
well, it's easier when it's live, really.
Yeah, it's live. At least it's very live.
When it's analog,
yeah,
all the digital stuff sometimes gets a bit.
Yeah, indeed.
Routing here, put it there.
Oh, he's back. He's back.
Give us back the stage.
Welcome back, Alain.
I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's okay now. Try to raise a bit your bass volume so we can try to go against this phase cancellation.
Okay. I don't want to clip, so I'll try it a little bit, and then you tell me if you tell me if it's okay or not. Okay, I'll go.
Yeah, thank you, Alain.
Great, man.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's just
Alex is
Thank you.
reloading too. Yeah.
it's just that kind of tune right now. It's really turned me on, and then I want to explore a little bit more in that kind of music. I played so many times my music, so I find it very, very challenging and inspiring to play these very, very beautiful standards, very melodic, and then a lot of chord changes, and then I look for beauty and melody instead of technical performance, or it's something
Yeah.
that maybe I'll get back to it at some point, but for sure I will do another record at some point, but it may be in that direction. I don't know yet. We'll see.
Yeah, someone asked for a new album if it's coming soon. So I
No.
guess you spoiled it. Yeah.
No, it's not coming soon, because I want to be. The thing is about making a record. You have to be inspired and convinced, and then to be able to defend that idea. All the records I did in the past, I was convinced. I said, this is the best I could do at the moment. And then you go on the road, and then you try to convince people that the music is good. This is what we do. You have to be convinced first of all if you want to convince the audience. And then now I feel that I have to go to search in someone else's music, and then the standards for me are in a very good. It's a good area for me to search. I played a lot of jazz standards before, but now all these kind of tunes, like this tune, for example, it's something that turns me on. So I may search into it. Maybe I will write some music in that style as well. We'll see.
Yeah, very nice. Thank you very much, Alain. So let's say thanks and goodbye to Ciro. Thank you, Ciro. Let's see you soon
guys.
for another live stream and maybe playing next time.
Ciao, Ciro.
Yeah, thanks
Ciro.
for your time, mate.
Hi, Alain. I wait here for a good pizza, you know?
Man, I miss that. I miss that big time. I miss Italy in general, man. I have to be back in Italy. This is my favorite food, and I'm not telling you because you're there. This is by far my favorite food. And then all the friends I have there. Ciro, we got to play some more soon. We have to.
Sure.
Okay.
We'll do it.
Thank you, man. Thank you, brother.
Have a good
See
night.
you soon.
Bye-bye,
Goodbye.
guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Okay, let's get back on track. So we have tons of questions made. Talking about instruments and gear, you are cooperating, of course, even with the projects with Furlanetto F-Bass. And this is a brand new model, isn't it? I wanted to talk about the bass and the, of course, Markbass cooperation you have.
Yeah. I got this bass 2 days ago. It's a brand new bass. It looks very similar than my regular AC6, except for the pickup. The pickup is different. You see, it's for the ones who know my AC6, the pickup is a bit wider because there's 2 pickups in there. because we experiment with pickup placement a long time ago, and I remember that pickup placement a little bit closer to the neck had a very, very interesting tone. And we worked also on a different preamp made by someone in Hamilton, close to F-Bass. So I asked George, would it be possible to have both pickups next to each other without canceling each other? He said, yeah, we'll try. And then he made this instrument, and it works beautifully. I like it very, very much. The difference between both pickup is very subtle. But it makes a difference, and I can hear it, and especially when I blend the piezo in the bridge. It's very, very natural sounding. And then the instrument itself resonates so much. And then I have a lot more dynamic range as well. So it's a beautiful piece of work.
Yeah, it's amazing. You're introducing it to your followers, to the users are looking at this live. I mean, it's the first time. Yeah, 2 days ago.
The very first model. I don't know if George will make it available for
the market.
To the market, but maybe maybe people will ask for it. But it's not a problem for him to make.
Yeah, we got used from F-Bass to have outstanding instruments, so I guess we'll think about it to place it on the market. Why not?
Yeah, the thing about these instruments is there's no dead spot. All the notes are very, very even, and then I remember the first time I played an F-Bass. That's the first thing I noticed, because I was playing Fender bass before that, and then but mostly Fender. And then for the Fender players out there, you know what I'm saying, that when you play A flat, it's a little bit more dead than A and G. Then when you play a D flat on the G string, it's a bit more dead. On the instrument I had. So it gets into your subconscious. Every time you play that A flat, you change the way you play to adjust for the weakness of the instrument. And now when I started playing these instruments, I said, wow, I'm free now to play all these notes equally, evenly. Each note have the same character everywhere. Even the F here on the fretless, it rings exactly the same way as this note. So it's a very, very special quality that instrument has.
It's a piece of art.
Well, and the craft, the craft. I don't know how to say it. It's all the details are perfect. The neck feels good. To me, it's perfect.
Okay, and what about the Markbass? Why in the beginning you have chosen to use Marco's amps, and how are you cooperating with them, even projecting new sounds, etc.? You have been using Markbass since many years now.
Oh yeah, more. I think it's close to 10 years now, to almost 10 years. I played. Actually, Marco knew me because he saw me play at the Frankfurt music messe. That I don't remember, because he told me we met there, but I can remember. I was playing at the Big Mama in Rome, and then he came, and then he introduced himself, because I was doing a clinic in Chieti, close where
Chieti, yes.
The next day. So he said, I'm a bass amplifier builder, and then I'd like you to try my amplifier. I said, yeah, of course, and then why don't you come tomorrow at the factory? You'll be there. I said, I think it's going to be hard because the time. And then I didn't have time to go. But we met and we talked. So he introduced me to his idea of how he approached the bass amplification. And then the next NAMM show in Los Angeles, we met again. And then we had a very nice meeting there. He said, well, we'd like you to work with us. We'll send you some amplifiers for you to try. And then if you like them, we'll talk some more. I said, sure, no problem. So he sent me a couple of different amps, 210s, 112, and then I tried different configuration. And I really liked the 12-inch speaker. I really liked it. And then we met another time. I believe it was again at NAMM. I said, yeah, I really like the tone of your amps, and I like your approach. It's very light. And then he said, Alain, if you want to work with us, we'll build you an amp the way you want. I said, wow, it doesn't get anything like that, man. It's like You want a Ferrari, and then we'll build a Ferrari just for you with your name on it. Okay, let's go. And then I flew to Pescara, and then we worked on different combination, different speakers, and then we made the first Combo 121 Lite, my first signature amp. And now we just released this new one behind me here, the K1, which is 1,000 watts, 3-way. It's, to me, it's the best amplifier you can play. If it's at the end of the day, it's a matter of taste. You plug your bass into an amp, and then you like it or not. But to me, this amplifier, it's just great because it has a flat response. The reason why we added this little 5-inch speaker. A lot of people tell me, "Hey, why a 5-inch speaker? Even why a tweeter? Because it's not the register of the bass." Yeah, I agree, but we have a lot of harmonics on top of the fundamental.
Indeed.
And those harmonics we want to hear, especially, and Alex, when you slap, there's a lot of high frequencies that you want to hear. And then that 5-inch speaker allows me to hear it. It's like between the 12 and the tweeter, and the mid-range is so pure and then very precise. I'm used to play my bass through you don't see my monitors studio. I have the focal monitors. They're very flat, they're very true. So I'm used to plug my bass directly into a DI and then hear the sound of that bass. And that's the sound I want to hear. I don't want the amplifier to change it. I want the amplifier to amplify it, not to color it too much. It's very hard to do because you put a speaker into a wood cabinet and already you have a color. So you don't want to color too much. So we worked on it quite a bit, tried different size
configurations, sides,
different speakers, and then we came up with this one, and I'm really, really happy with it. So I feel very, very lucky to have the opportunity to work with great engineers to build an amplifier under my recommendation. It's a dream come true to me. It's great.
Yeah, nice one. Yeah, but talking about slap, I guess Alex will have something to say and to ask what you think.
Yeah, well, I wanted to ask about the gear. Do you use a compressor or something like a compression pedal or something in your line? Always straight to the amp?
Straight to the amp. I normally use like a multi-effects. Mm-hmm. Back in the UZEB days, I've even had a synthesizer. I was triggering a synthesizer with my bass. There was a lot of latency, but I used to manage to play music with it. But most of the time, I use very little effects. I use a little bit of reverb when I solo. For example, here I use a little bit of reverb. You see, now I'm connected into a Zoom B3, and I have different Roland multi effects. And I use normally my bass flat. That bass is flat now. And I use different reverb depending on the speed of the tune. If the tune is fast, I always use a shorter reverb. You see? If I use like a ballad, I will use a longer reverb. You see, it adds a little bit of
tail
expression to the vibrato. The vibrato is a lot more expressive. It adds a little bit more of sustain also. So for the fretless, this is what I do. And sometimes I just add a little bit of a chorus. Very subtle chorus. And that's about it. That's about it.
Beautiful.
Sometimes I use different effects like the octave.
More like a synthesizer type of idea.
What this is not octavator. This is one octave down. Or I use the touch one. So it's fun. It's just but not very much nowadays. And that said, no compression. I use compressors when I mix the record, to place the bass exactly into the mix, to fit with the drums. But mostly when I play live, I never use compressor. Sometimes when I play slap, I use a little bit of compression, but most of the time, no. I would say,
because especially in the slap technique, the way you play it is so even. I couldn't figure out the way you play it.
Well, I practice a lot to have the same dynamics between the thumb and the pull, because normally when you start slapping, you pull very hard, and then the thumb is not even. So I try to make it very, very even, and that's one of the reasons why I don't use a compressor. Sometimes I use a compressor, but not very much.
On a slapping, do you use a bit of double thumb?
Yes, I do.
Like, because you have your thumb well over the fretboard.
Yeah.
I fancy getting a fretted bass.
Yeah, I'll get my fretted bass. I'll tell you a story before I do it, though. I'll come back.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Alex, it's amazing to be with him talking about all the
sharing experiences and points of view.
Sorry.
That's the beauty of it. And he's got a huge experience.
I'll be back with you. I'm back. All right. So, 2 stories. The first one is
go.
Brand new bass. I got
Santa came very early this year.
This one I got it 2 days ago with my new AC6. It's a new F bass. This one is very, very special. You see this? You think it's the same pickup as the other one, but it's not. This is a replica of a Music Man. It's made by another company. And this one is a replica of a jazz bass made by F bass. So it's a very, very unique combination. And then I had this in mind for a long time. And then finally, George made it for me. And then I really liked the sound of it. And especially, as you saw on my other basses, normally I use a fingerboard made of ebony, as opposed to maple, because I thought that ebony is a bit more compressed. The sound is a bit more compressed. And then for the slap technique I use, as you mentioned, Alex, I want the notes to be even. And then I have a little bit more of dynamics control. And then that's why I never really liked the maple fingerboard, because they're very expressive, but it's very hard to get them even. And then this instrument, for some reason, it's perfect. So all the notes are very, very even. For example, okay, is the volume okay?
Yes, it is.
You see, it's very, very even. It's very even. One thing I have to tell you, I haven't done a gig playing slap since 2017. The last concert I did with using the slap technique was a UZEB concert, September 2017, and then I stopped playing slap completely. I didn't even touch it. For some reason, at the university where I teach, there's a lot of upright bass players, and then most of the students, I would say all of them, are really into playing a bit more the jazz language, and then they all into finger style. And
they don't slap that much.
Yeah, no, it's not that hip anymore around here. I don't know, for some reason. Maybe it'll come back. Maybe it will at some point. Now I've been, trying to get my chops back, but it's not back at all. I'm telling you, it takes time to bring back the any technique, because my writing technique is so different than the fingerstyle technique I use on the fretless. It would take me time to bring it back at the level where I was when I was playing it all the time, because I use a different technique. But I can show you a little bit of the technique I use.
Will be lovely.
Of course, I use my thumb up and down. Okay, so I started doing that a long, long time ago. I think it's 79 or 78, 1978. I didn't see anybody doing that. It just happened by mistake, I would say. So at some point, I was hitting the. Oh, I said, "Wow, it's possible to create an attack with doing that." So I started fooling around with that. I say if I do two down and one up, I can even 3 down, 1 up. So if I mix it up, I have a lot of possibilities. And then the other technique I changed, and then everybody, we start slapping with octaves with this finger. And at some point, to me, it was like so limiting. I was limited because every time I had to play a melody, I had to switch to finger style. I said, I got to find a way to be able to keep that technique and that sound and be able to play a melody. So I said, I have to slap with these 2 fingers. So this is the first thing I started doing. I started practicing drum patterns, drum rhythms on octaves. So I started doing 2-2, 1 triplets, 2 thumbs, and then paradiddles, triplets, and then I said, okay, I still don't have the answer to play melodies. So I figured that I had to be able to slap on the same string. So this is where I have the technique. And then I figured out, I said, all my down and pull have to be even. Volume-wise, not to slap too hard. And then the last thing I figured out, I said, normally I slap thumb 1, 2, thumb 1, 2. I said, I have to be able to slap both ways if I want to be able to go up and down. So I started practicing both ways, thumb 1, 2 and thumb 2, 1. And so on. So this technique allows me to play something like that, on all the strings. And then obviously it's a lot of work, especially on the 6th string, because when you slap on the top string, you got to mute the bottom strings. But now I don't have my thumb sitting on the strings now. So every milliseconds I have, I rest on the strings. And then not too hard, not to make a noise. And then as you notice, I don't slap like this. It's more a movement of the thumb. You see, I'm always close to the strings. And then I use my pinky as an anchor. So it's like someone told me at some point, hey man, it's like a banjo technique.
Yeah, it's like a banjo technique. I was thinking about it.
And it's not that far from that, because so it's everything is close, very close. And then you see, I'm not in good shape right now. I'm telling you, it's not an excuse. And then
he says he's not in good shape,
No, I'm telling you, because when my technique is down, I don't think about it. It's just That's what I
Just
keep
happens.
telling my students: technique, and then all the theory, scales, and all that. It has to be at the back of your mind. You shouldn't be thinking of it when you play. It should be automatic. So you have to practice a lot to be able to not think about it when you perform. Exactly when I speak. When I speak, I don't think about the words except in English sometimes because it's not my mother language. But now most of the time I don't have to think about it. I just speak, and then most of the time I can even spell the words in my heads faster than what I'm speaking. The action of saying it, my brain is going faster. I can even think of what I'm going to say. I can even I can look there, and everything's happening at the same time. So this is the way I approach playing music, to know your vocabulary so much that you're free when you perform. And then to be honest with you, my slap technique, it's not right there. It's not there yet. I would have to practice a few weeks and then it'll come back for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure of it.
How do you play that? There is one
Yeah,
little thing, on Donna Lee that you just played. In the intro of the album, on the recording, there is a lick, descending pentatonic.
Okay.
How do you play this kind of a two vertical? Because you were saying you were
1 2 1 2 thumb 1 1 2.
So when you skip strings, you use the thumb when the way down only for going on the lower string.
Yeah. 1 2 thumb 1 and thumb. I'm ready. My thumb is ready there. So when I play 3 notes on the same string, I play thumb 1 2 or 2 1 thumb. And when I play 2 notes on the same string, I play 1 2 or either one, or 1 2 or.
It's a combination of 3, down 1 2 pretty much all the time. And the double thumping is when you pedal on one note and you get all the accentuation, which is your signature rhythm.
Yes, because if I play 2 down or just 1 down, it shifts the accent. So if I play 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. You see now my second 16th, I can switch it to the thumb. 1
Yep.
1 2 3 4 1 2, or the slap 1 2 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1, or the thumb 1 2 1 2 1 2 3.
I know. Easier done than said most of the time, especially in music, right?
Yeah, but you know, I can place my accent anywhere I want.
Yeah, because obviously, like you say, you have a very close position on the strings, so it's never been easy to see it. And in fact, most of the time, most of the things I understood in playing was mostly by hearing them or by listening. Because when you watch something, you never know where to look, and can be deceptive. But if you hear it, if you listen closely, you can then figure it out, the way the accentuation is and all that.
Yep. So this is the most difficult aspect of this technique. It's to get the slap even and get dynamics, and then to switch strings. Going down is very hard. See? That's it.
Yeah, it's impressive, even in live stream quality, to hear the sound this even. it sounds like you have a compressor, but the
No.
dynamic can be very, very even wherever
Yeah.
you play. That must be a lot of practice, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah, I worked on it a lot. You see, I turn my compressor on. So I don't have as much dynamics. So if I... Now I have a lot more dynamics. Yeah, I want to keep it. See? So I have a lot more control, and I prefer that.
And a well-crafted
it sounds
instrument helps.
amazing.
I'm sorry?
A well-crafted instrument helps in getting, the good response, so you don't have to worry
For sure.
about filling
For
up.
sure. Yeah, it takes me some time. For example, when I first got this instrument, I spent maybe more than 1 hour setting up the pickups to make sure I have the same response everywhere. See, so then it becomes a lot freer. It frees you from. You have nothing against you and the instrument. All your ideas are a bit more fluid, when the instrument is set up properly.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, thank you, Alain. Really interesting and useful for every bass player, I guess.
From now on,
I have a
let's bring
question.
back the slap bass.
Yeah, yeah, we need you to get back with the slap. I have a question from Carl Schott from Twitch. Can you share some practice ideas? What should aspiring bassist focus on, and what worked or works for you?
What worked for me works for you. It all depends, Carl. Your question is very wide because I practiced many different things. Depending, do I practice a walking bass? Do I practice a groove? Do I practice rhythm? Do I practice improvisation? Do I practice slap? Do I practice harmony? All these elements are part of the music. So, for example, if I practice my rhythm, first of all, I ask my student to count loud when they practice, and then first of all, I ask them to practice on one note. Get your velocity control over the velocity and dynamics, and then accent. I'll show you. It's like a 12 weeks course, but I'll try. First of all, I'll go with a 16th note, counting loud, no accent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and trying to make all the notes very, very even. 2, 3, 4, 1. Even though I'm playing with 3 fingers. 2, 3, 4, and then switch. Try different sounds. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. The first thing. Then start doing accent. An accent on the first 16th tone, the 3 others very even. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you displace the accent. You make an accent, you accentuate the second 16th note, and you count loud. It's very important. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then obviously the 8th note, the third one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. The last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. First of all. And then you do it with triplets, same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. This is a rhythmic exercise. If you do it on each string, and then if you do it for a while, counting loud, you will feel the rhythm a lot more. And then when you play, and then the drummer puts an accent on the second 16th. You'll hear it, you'll feel it, and then you'll be able to fit with the drummer a lot easier. Obviously, you can do it with a metronome to make sure you're not rushing and slowing down. And then, but first of all, just by counting loud, it's a very good exercise. And then you can do the same exercise and then adding silence anywhere. For example, 4/16th note and a silence. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then so on. I got pages of exercise this way, but this is the beginning of it, and then I think it's vigorous exercise. That's it. This is only for rhythm, and then you can practice your scale, and then how to connect the chords, and then how to build a nice walking bass. For example, when I tell my students, the first thing to work on when you practice a good walking bass, because normally a lot of guys start doing chromatics way too soon. Chromatic approach, it's something you need to control. First of all, you need to hit the core tones. This is the first thing you need to know everywhere on the neck. So if you take, for example, the tune Autumn Leaves, I think it's a great tune to practice because you have all the modes. 2, 5, 1, 4, 2, 5, 1 in minor tonality. So you have all the 7 modes of the major scale, except for the 5 going to the minor chords. It's a minor harmonic of destination. The 5th mode of the minor harmonic minor. You see, it's another story. So just practice a walking bass only with 3 notes. You see, C minor, 1, 2, 3, 4, E flat, A, D, C, G minor, C minor, F. And then you can practice playing the roots, the 3rd on the 5th on the downbeat. Only 3 notes. And then you start doing that in all tonalities. You'll see the neck very differently very soon. And then after that, the next step is you add the 7th as a passing tone. Never on the first beat. And then if you do it in all tonalities and you practice all your standards this way, your ears and then your technique, and then you will visualize the fingerboard very differently. You see, it's just another aspect of what I can practice. Then I can practice some grooves. You see, I add those ghost notes. It's connected with the rhythmic exercise I gave you at the beginning. You see, this is the basic of the groove. And then I just added some ghost notes. Or dear Rocco Prestia from Tower of Power brought us to the bass players. He was I believe the first one to do that, and then Jacko started doing this, and then a lot of bass players are doing that. You see, it's just another thing to practice. And then soloing, it's another thing. Depending on the style you want to play, the style of music that turns you on. If you want to play rock music, whatever, you need a good sound, and then be very, very solid, and then be convinced and supportive. If you want to play fusion, you need to learn harmony a lot more, and then rhythmically, you got to be, you got to know rhythmically how to displace rhythm, and then be comfortable rhythmically and harmonically. If you want a solo, then it's a lifetime achievement. It's a lifetime process. I believe you have to transcribe a lot of solos, your favorite solos, and especially analyze your solos. If you transcribe any solos, analyze it. Because if you only learn the shape, this is a Pat Martino lick. This is a Part Martino lick that I've learned a long time ago. And I practice these licks in all tonalities, upside down, everywhere. And then to a point, I don't think about that lick anymore. It's a phrase that I know. Like when I speak, I love you. This is a phrase that I know, but I know the meaning of it, and I know how to spell it, and I know how to write it. So I possess the language a bit more. This is the way I approach it. And then I did the mistake when I started playing by ears and playing by shapes and playing by motif. And I didn't know what I was saying. It's like I was saying a phrase in a foreign language, and then I didn't know what I was saying. And then sometimes I was throwing that phrase without knowing what I was saying, actually. I knew the sound of it, and then it worked. But at some point I said, stop. I will know every note I play and why I play this note, and especially the function of that note related to the chords I play. You know, if I play a C minor chord, I know each note I play. A triad of the fifth, triad of sixth, chromatic approach, enclosure, the ninth. It's a long process, but it's worth it.
Yeah, it's like a big masterclass tonight, Alain. Really.
You ask question. You ask a question, I give an answer. But this, you see, this answers. It takes me to my student 3 years to really. You need to be followed and then practice correctly. I think the hardest thing is to find a way to practice. A good way to practice, you know, it's hard to practice your brain. It's so frustrating because you want to play, man. You want to have fun. You want to play fast. And then practice your brain. It's hard. It takes time. You got to practice slow to train your brain to think fast. This is the way I approach it.
Yeah, okay. I got this comment pretty cool, and it's related to what you just said. I transcribed and analyzed the Island Soul of Donna Lee, and I learned a lot of stuff on it. Yeah, transcribing gives you a lot of cool stuff to learn.
Of course. Good tune. It's a perfect tune. If you analyze just the melody of Donna Lee, you learn the language of bebop. It's all there. You have what I call, I don't know the word in English for it. It's called in French an échappé. Échappé. Do you know the word in English for it? Because I teach in French. An échappé is like when you're not on a strong chord tone. For example, the first chord of Donna Lee, it starts with the major seventh of A flat. So you have to do what I call an échappé to come back to in phase with the strong chord tone. And then you start with that échappé, and then you play the bebop scale. Another, a triad, double chromatic, enclosure, chromatic approach, triad, enclosure, another échappé, chromatic, another enclosure, double chromatic, sharp 11. If you analyze this tune this way, you learn the language of bebop. That's it. It's all there.
Playing. Someone said it's off tune, the word you use in French.
It's what?
Off tune?
Off tune.
Off tune?
Yeah, off tune. I'm not sure about it. Maybe someone said on Twitch.
I'll show you what it is. C7. I just did an échappé there. What is it? You know the bebop scale? You add one note to stay in phase with the chord tone. C major, third, fifth, seventh, passing tone to the tonic. This is what I call a bebop scale. Descending, tonic, seventh, fifth, third, one. because bebop, you have to land on a chord tone on the downbeat. 1, 2, da 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 da. So if you want to stay in phase, I land on the second, the ninth of the chord. I have to do an échappé to come back come back in phase. Third, seven. I'm always in phase. This is
very nice.
A basic of the bebop language. In okay. I'll look for the word in English. I need to find it.
Yeah, because I get the meaning of it. I just
but I don't know the word.
Yeah, I don't know the word in English. I'm sorry.
Yeah, someone said a turn.
A turn? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm not
this
sure
is the correct name. Yeah.
I'm sorry about that, guys. I'm sorry, my English sometimes, because
it's a trill, that you start on one note, you go on the one above and the one below, and then you end on.
It's a trill to come back in phase with the downbeat. Because if I stay on the ninth, you're off phase. 1, 2. So you're not in phase with the rest of the scale.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, I should look on the internet.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, Alex, let's get another shot. Do you have another question?
Just still into this the teaching aspect. I mean, so how do you? You said a lot already, but normally, like when we start talking, or we learn how to talk, we understand the meaning afterwards. Is that the way you did as well, starting as a self-taught and then discovering or analyzing, trying to dig? To be aware of what you're doing, because sometimes what I find in with students and some other people, that they know a lot of concepts about theory and harmony, but it kind of stays in the cloud and they can't actually transpose it onto the instrument.
Yeah,
and it's very hard to tell them, look, can you hear this sound, or this phrase is called this way, and people get lost in the nomenclature, half diminished or whatever, super Locrian scale. They sound much harder than what they really are, and sometimes they are kind of misunderstood.
Yeah, it's very tricky. It's very hard. This is one of the challenge of being a musician, first of all, and then to be a teacher, to be a good teacher. It's hard to teach talent. It's hard. It's very hard to teach that. You can develop your ears with theory. For example, I started playing by ears, to answer your question. Of course, I started playing things I didn't understand, but I was able to play it because I had some kind of talent and pretty good ears. And then if you don't have that, it's hard to do the opposite development. I agree with you. Some musicians, they know a lot of things, but it's hard for them to play music with it. So I tell them, I said, just don't think. Stop thinking and play and play and play. And I have them playing and then do mistakes. And then fix your mistakes after. This is what I did, actually. I was playing, I was doing mistakes, and then, okay, I kept going. And at some point myself, I said, I got to be able to stop doing that, to be able to most of the time not do mistakes and control a little bit more my language. So I think it's easier this way, starting from playing by ears with a lot of talent and then learning the theory and then the language and the grammar of the opposite is a little bit hard. And then I didn't find exactly the trick to open the mind and the eyes of the students that are like that. Probably just stop thinking and play and listen to music a lot. Listen to as much music as you can, and then to absorb the sound, the feel of it, and then try to live it. to what does that tune does to me emotionally,
To feel it.
to feel it, to feel it, and then probably play something very simple, and then in a band, and try to play something simple and really get the emotion out of it. Even if it really get into it, and then try to make it alive. I don't know. It's a very good question, Alex. It's a very good question. It's hard. It's hard to open the eyes and the ears of someone that is close to theory only. Because
Yeah, kind of bridging the two elements, or the mechanics and
Yeah.
the knowledge. Because, I mean,
Yeah.
especially now with a lot of information online,
Yeah.
I see that there is a bit of confusion
Yeah.
when people get lost into
Yeah.
names and things. Because obviously, as adults, because it's easier, I guess, when you're
Yeah.
younger, because you just don't think, you just
Yeah.
do it as a game, and you don't really ask too many questions
Yeah.
at certain
One
level.
thing that helps for sure, and I did it. I started playing in clubs when I was 11. I played a lot of music, man, a lot of dance music and a lot of tunes, and playing a. I played a lot of that. I played a lot of it, and then you learn. I realized that you learn a lot by playing all kinds of music. This is a little bit what's missing maybe nowadays. We play a lot, like we practice, like what we're talking about, all the Facebook and all the technology that we have, but we miss playing with all the gigs. For example, when I was arrived in Montreal, there was, I think, 13 jazz clubs playing jazz every night, 7 nights a week, and then tons of clubs playing rock music. And then I was playing 7 nights a week when I was 14 years old. So I played a lot of music, and then at some point I didn't think of it. That became automatic, even though I didn't know what I was playing, but I was feeling it. I think it's play. Maybe the answer is to play as much as possible. Not hard music necessarily. Play simple music and feel it, probably.
Yeah, I think a bit like learning a second language. Once you understand the concept behind it, you browse the pool of words or whatever to convey the whatever emotion. Then, regardless if it's a fifth or flat six or whatever note it is.
Exactly. If you want to learn a new language, try. If you don't have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, find a boyfriend, a girlfriend that speaks only that language. So you will have no choice to speak that language, because you will get into arguments at some point, and then you learn real fast.
Exactly. I can't believe you were playing Poont.
I
do believe it, but
I played a lot of it. I'm telling
You cannot imagine it.
Oh yeah, I played a lot of it. And then when I first moved to Montreal, I started doing a lot of studio gigs, and then there was a lot of work, and I used to do all kinds of work, like almost every day in studio and playing jazz at night. And then I was recording what we call jingles. Jingles are music for commercials, music for McDonald's, whatever. And then you play 60 seconds, and then the 30 seconds version, and I used to do a lot of session like that, and I did a lot of session. So I was focusing on the sound and the right, right placement, and then I learned a lot doing that.
Yeah, and confronting with other musicians, with other living people. They've got ideas, you can nick or steal some ideas and learn from each other.
Yeah. And just focusing on your sound, and then focusing on how you fit with the drums. The music of the 70s, I remember. You had to fit with the bass drum. The bass drum and the bass were sleeping together all the time. So I worked a lot, to place those 2/16th notes at the right place. And then we went crazy at some point with a drummer and I. We were recording on 24 tracks. And then we were looking at the view meters on the 8 tracks, bass drum and the bass, to see if it were moving together, to see if we were tight. So that was before computer. Now we can see with the waves, if we're together. We can now even move it if we're not tight.
Agreed.
And not back in the days. We had to play tight. So,
Yeah, it has changed a lot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, I got another question for you. I guess this is very crucial, what are some of your favorite recording that you consider essential for any bassist to check out?
Well, any Ray Brown that you can listen to, anything Ray Brown recorded, you have to listen to it if you want to play jazz. And then Bill Evans Trio, you have to listen to it with Scott LaFaro, Eddie Gomez. And then, and also what he did with Chick Corea, with Friends, that record. On the electric bass, there's, a lot of guys you have to listen to. James Jameson, you have to listen to that. Chuck Rainey, you have to listen to this. And obviously Stanley Clarke, Jaco Pastorius, Rocco Prestia, Tower of Power, Inevitable. You have to listen to it. All the modern guys, John Petitucci, Victor Wooten, Jeff Berlin. You have to listen to that. All these guys are right on. And then Marcus Miller, you have to listen to these guys. At some point, myself, I stopped listening to bass player for a while, especially Jaco. I didn't listen to Jaco because I was already playing fretless bass when Jaco came on the scene. So I said, "Oh my God, this is way too strong. This is too good. I have to stop listening to it because I'll sound like him." So I stopped listening to Jaco for a while, and then I started looking for a different sound. So my for example, I don't put his ebony thing. He put it on his fingerboard. So he has epoxy. He has a brighter sound than I do. So I still use wood, and then I have a different tone. And then I worked right away on different licks. I never played the Jaco licks. For example, I never played that lick. I never played it, and I never will. Because it belongs to him and it's too good, man. It's too good. And then I listened to him after that when I had a bit more of my own language. So I was listening more to, for soloing, I've been listening a lot more to Pat Martino, Joe Bass, Charlie Parker.
Yeah, someone is suggesting, Rowdy Roddy is saying you have to listen to Alain Caron.
Well, I did myself a lot listen to him. I'm tired of him. Yeah.
Oh my God. Listen along. But in your UZEB experience, I have a question. It's the same we wanted to ask you. I was at the last UZEB concert and the reunion one, Both shows were just incredible. How did it feel to play with UZEB again? And how was all the equipment and gear different after all those years?
First of all, it was smaller. It was a lot smaller because back in the days we had big rack mounts like that, filled with... and then all the sequence we used back in the days, we had all the computers. Actually, there was no computers back in the days. We had samplers and we had the MC500, Roland MC500s, the MIDI sequencer. And then we didn't have enough memory. We had someone backstage to reload the samplers, the samples into the sampler between songs because we didn't have enough memory. So that was a big problem. And also all the effects, speaker cabinets, I had big speakers cabinets. So now This version, we had computers, we had Ableton Live, and everything was digital. The sound was better. And then we had in-ears. We had control over individual mixes. So everything was easier, smaller, faster, better. And then our musicianship, or we had 25 years more of experience individually. And then as producer, Michel Cusson is a great writer, arranger, producer. Paul Brochery is the first call drummer in town for years. And I did a lot of things myself, including producing my record, writing my own music, and traveling with other people like Mike Stern and Frank Gambale and all that. So I had a lot more experience. So we knew how to put a show together and how to perform. But interestingly enough, the chemistry we had, the trio, the way we played together, is unique. I never play with another drummer the way I play with Paul. It's unique. It's like we grow together. You know, we learn these things. We know the flips. We know he's going to do that thing, and then I'm going to do this. We don't talk about it anymore. And then he came back right away like that. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. And then we decided to play the old tunes, no new material. I said, if we get into this, are we going to make another record? We said, we figured out that it would be fun to play the same tunes, but revamp it a little bit. New arrangements, new sequences, new arrangement, new solo section here and there. And then we made it, and then the tune we chose didn't get old. Anyway, some of the tunes, they sounded like dated. They sounded like the 70s and the 80s, and that, okay, we skipped those, and then we played the tunes that we could adapt to a modern sound. And then I think we did a pretty good job with that. And then for some concerts, we add the horn section, because back in the days we were trying to emulate the horn section most of the time with the synthesizer. Yeah. And now we said, now we can afford to have the real one. And then we did it. That was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. But from the very beginning, we knew it was for a short period of time, because we wanted to go back to our own career. You know, I've already started teaching, and it's something that I'm very interested, that turns me on, and I like doing this. And then the music I want to play is not necessarily the music of UZEB anymore. And then Michel has a great career. He does film scoring and then a lot of things. And then we knew that we wanted to do it for a certain time, enjoy the moment, and then say goodbye to our fans after 25 years. It was great. It was a great experience. It was so fun.
Okay, so Alex, sorry if I'm keeping muting you, but you have some noises. So when you don't talk, just keep muted. Then you can unmute when you want to speak.
It's the analog hum, you know. It's the hiss that.
Yeah, it's the analog hum, you know. Yeah. Okay. There's last question. I guess this one is how important does Alain feel reading music is today?
Sight reading music.
Sight reading, I guess, yes.
I've always been really bad. I've never been a specialist of sight reading. I can read music. It's okay. And especially back in the days where I was doing a lot of studios, and I was playing in a big band. So I remember my first rehearsal with a big band, I couldn't follow the band. I used to get lost, and then I said, okay, I got to work on it. So I did. But every gig as a sideman that I do, I ask for the charts before I don't want to have any surprise and be embarrassed at the first rehearsal. So my sight reading is not my forte, but I can read music for sure.
Okay. How did you come up with the name UZEB? I really don't know about it.
It's a very stupid story. The guitar player started this band a long time before me, And then they did a concert that didn't have a name, like guys around his hometown. And then they didn't have a name for this concert. So they looked at the calendar, and that was the Saint Eusebe Day. Eusebe, E-U-S-E-B-E. It's like a name. It's like Alain, Thomas. It's a saint. Saint Eusebe. That's it. So after a while, they said, we're going to keep that band together and play some more. And then they said, wow, we'll use that name. It's so fun. It's odd. It's crazy. It's stupid even. So they started playing gigs, and then with that name, UZEB Jazz. Then I joined the band with Michel and then we became a lot more serious and then started touring. And then we had a record deal offer. And then we said, well, we cannot go on with this name. It's not serious. And then by accident, we saw the name written like E-U-S-E-B-E. And for some reason, we lost the two E's. There was someone wearing a T-shirt. That was a girl. And then we lost the two E's. You see?
Yeah.
So U-S-E-B. I said, wow, that's it, man. That's the name. And then we just replaced the S for a Z, and then we got a stupid international name that everybody can spell and say in all language. And then that's it. That's the beginning of the name.
That's a very cool story. All because of a T-shirt and a girl, you know?
That was the guitar player's girlfriend.
Okay, let's unmute Alex. You're still muted, mate. Yeah, okay. Okay, Alain, I really have to thank you for your time. It's not just like an interview, you know. You spent a lot of very nice words and gave you a lot of your experience to all the users that are following now. So I really thank you. It's been an honor to meet you. And I hope all this pandemic situation will be solved soon. And so we can meet, and maybe we can also get some more of your music in a gig, in a venue, and can listen properly. Yeah. But if this will take any longer, and if you plan one day to have a live in streaming, we can fix your audio, and I'll be very proud to host you and have you as a guest again for any clue you may have to play live, even if it's not with the people together in the same room. You have tons of followers and lovers really in Italy. I'm receiving dozens of messages even on my mobile phone saying thank you to Alain. It's amazing. He spent very nice words. I will practice with the suggestions he gave tonight for months. So I really have to thank you.
Yeah, it was a pleasure for me to do it. Actually, as I told you at the very, very beginning, I'm not comfortable playing alone in front of my computer. I accept doing that because we've been isolated for so long, and then I said it's time to talk to the people, and especially people in Italy. It's a country I love, and I have so many good friends there. So I decided to do it, and finally, to be honest with you, I enjoyed it. You see, I talk a lot. Normally, I don't talk that much, but when people ask me a question, I think it deserves a proper answer to the knowledge I have. And then some of the questions that have been asked deserved a longer answer than that. Well, I did my best anyway. And then most definitely, as I told you, we broadcast the big band concert from the university a couple of weeks ago, and we're planning on doing some more. And then I'm planning to do a concert there with the other teachers, even Paul, the UZEB drummer, is there. So if I do it, I'll let you know, so you can broadcast in Italy. So I'll let you know for sure. the next time I do it. And then if I don't do it at the university, maybe I'll do it at the other place I talked about briefly.
Yeah, it will be an honor.
Yeah, so I'll let you know.
Okay. Thank you very nice.
Exactly.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Alex, also for being with us.
Thank you.
You're
too.
always
Thank you,
very kind, and a little kindness goes a long way, I guess. And Alex also is an amazing bass player. I love him. Yeah, really.
Yeah, I listened to his record. It's killing. His writing, arrangements, playing. It's beautiful work. Beautiful.
Thank you.
I told you.
Thank you very
I told
Yeah.
You've been a big
Thank you.
influence to me, so.
Thank you very much to all of you that you have been together with us tonight. If you enjoyed this show, you can place a like on YouTube video and follow on Twitch. And please go listen to some Alain Caron music tonight. Well, even if you have a CD or a vinyl or just in Spotify, listening to good music is something we really need, especially now in this very strange situation we are living. See you soon. I will leave you just the last scene of the live stream, announcing another great artist that will be a guest on Tuesday. It's Marcos Fogli. It's an amazing Italian guitarist playing with PFM. And see you on Tuesday. You, Alain, and Alex stay here a second so we can do a proper goodbye. And thank you to everybody. Okay. And it's been an honor. Thank you. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. Thanks.